Today I am in Nyeri County. I've come to visit my daughter who is in school, and so I decided to record a little thing while we are waiting. And I just thought about this issue I'd like to talk about now. Why do we take children to school? The obvious answer is so as to learn. But then we need to ask ourselves a little bit more. What do they learn in school? Do they learn about life, for example? I would say partly yes and partly no. School teaches academic disciplines to prepare your child or yourself for a profession. It could be the arts, the vocations, the sciences, artisans, all the professions we have in this world. They are taught in some kind of school. So yes, school prepares you for life. But also no, because there are some things that school does not teach you. Some of these things are best taught in another school, not the formal schools like the one I'm attending today. This is the home school. And today my message on Dr. BMS is to ask all of you, my viewers, to institute the home school. But before I go deeper into this issue of homeschool, I will request you as always to subscribe to Dr. BMS channel so that you can get these notifications as we produce these videos and these good conversations can continue. So the homeschool, what is the homeschool? This is the family. This is where parents, grandparents, the extended family, living with their young ones, pass on knowledge. They pass on values, some which cannot be gained in a formal school like we know today. And what are some of these values that are taught in the homeschool? How important are they? This is what we'd like to explore in this short video. The homeschool, the family, prepares you by teaching you morals. It teaches you ambition. It teaches you industry. It teaches you community. It teaches you honor. It teaches you a sense of legacy. A few other things I've not mentioned, but perhaps those are the important ones for me now. And I would like to delve a bit more into each of those and see how they contribute in you being a well-formed person. So the homeschool will teach you morality, what is right, what is not right, what is allowed culturally and what is not allowed culturally, so that you avoid doing things that shame you. You avoid things that lower your self-esteem, lower your sense of community. And in this, we have things that are of interest to Dr. BMS, like the use of drugs, which I keep talking about, addiction and the use of drugs. Family, the homeschool teaches you that if you abuse drugs, become addicted, then you are losing your sense of morality. You lose your sense of ambition, industry, honor, legacy, all these things. And this is not well taught in our formal schools. So this is where the school of home, the home school, becomes important. School at home also teaches you ambition, that you need to grow to be someone, something, achieve something. And with this, it also teaches you industry. To achieve this, you need to work hard. you need to be focused. This teaching is done by example, by apprenticeship. Sometimes it is done subconsciously by you observing your parents and your elders and seeing how they do what they do, listening to what they say. Then you learn, you pick these values of the homeschool. The homeschool teaches you about community. You need to exist harmoniously and in a valuable way with other members of the community. So you must be someone who is respected. You must be someone who contributes positively to community. You must be someone who makes peace, not war, within the community. These are important lessons that are taught in the homeschool more than the formal school. With it, they teach you honor. You cannot be a respected member of the community, of the family, if you are not honorable. So they teach you to be a person of your word, keep your word, and live by standards that are acceptable. In the process, they also teach you about a legacy. What shall you be remembered by? You give birth to children, they carry your name, they are going to be your successors. How will they remember you as their father, as their mother? That is legacy. All these values that I've mentioned are taught best at school, so at the home school. So as a parent, you would better institute the homeschool today, start teaching your young ones these values, and through the homeschool, they will pick these lessons better than if they were taught elsewhere. Because as I said, the homeschool uses apprenticeship, living by example. So when your young ones see you say something and do it exactly like you've said, they believe you. That message sinks deeper than if they were in a formal school where a teacher, for example, is just giving them a lesson for 45 minutes and the lesson is over. They don't see the teacher doing this thing. So the message does not sink in as much. Before I leave on this issue of example, apprenticeship, the homeschool, I'll go back to my topic of addiction to drugs, drugs of abuse. A viewer has asked me in the past, Dr. BMS, what is your position on this? Should parents take drugs of recreation in front of their children? Are they showing a bad example? Is this what makes children, for example, start abusing drugs of recreation? In the homeschool, parents teach by example, by apprenticeship. So, if you are partaking in drugs of recreation, for example, the legal ones that are allowed, you take alcohol, for example, your little ones, the children are watching how you take it and what happens to you after you take it and what happens around you after you take it. So if you take responsibly, remember that video I made about recommended limits. If you take something legal, you take responsibly. You do not do things that people frown or bring shame to you or your family. People talk behind your back about it. Your children will watch this and learning by apprenticeship, by observation, will see the right way of doing it. But if you do it the wrong way, you take too much, you do things that are not allowed, that are shameful, your children start associating that habit, what you're taking, with that behavior. And if at their formative stage they are not able to reject or avoid that behavior, they will pick it up with the same consequences, so that it perpetuates yourself. If you are someone who abuses drugs and your children are watching you doing that in the homeschool, they are likely to pick that, because that is what they learned